Alright, so we're gonna start the Minecraft Forever World Let's Play. Because I think that's pretty cool. I wanna do that. This is my testing world. I just made it to like test out my resource packs. And I decided not to have shaders because I don't really want them. I want a more authentic experience now. I'm playing with resource packs. But that's about all I need. Alright, well this is a new world. I imagine things will go pretty well. Of course, I also gotta watch the time because my recording software only allows 30-minute intervals. And apparently, we'll start recording over that if you happen not to notice, which is kind of annoying. So there's some piggies around here. This is actually my second time doing this because the last time my footage got corrupted, and well, you may not see every second of the world, but I'd like at least like the first bit we recorded. I can look back on it at least. Also, one thing I'm gonna do, just gonna lay it out here. I'm gonna try and gather a bunch of wood, like all different wood types, and their saplings respectively. That's what I prefer to do. I like doing that. Oh, my distant horizons is working this time. Yeah, it stopped working last time for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. Ooh, okay, there we go. That's oak. Now, luckily for oak, all you need is a single sapling to uh, grow a tree. But for one of my favorite woods to use, dark oak, you actually need four saplings to grow one tree, and it's not like a huge tree. It gives you about 50 wood to be fair, but it doesn't have many leaves, and the leaves it does drop, it normally doesn't drop four, so you get pretty unlucky. So, like I was on a server recently, and I was making my base on dark oak, and here we go. We acquired birch. I was making my base from dark oak and spruce, but I had to go mostly for spruce because the dark oak just it wasn't doing the thing like it should have. I kept losing all the saplings. Yeah, I'm one of those people that like to sleep through the nights rather than anything. It's not like I can't live through the night because I'll just dig myself in a hole and pretend nothing ever happened. Sugar cane, I'll need that. Oh, I'll need a money play later. I like to build things. It's a very cool process. I like cooking the wood. It's a very patient one too. It really pushes you to try and maintain one build for a while. It's a patient thing. Most of my first buildings are actually made out of brick. But I'll address that in a second, right after I address how I didn't put this on hardcore. Right, so this is a forever world to me. And that's all I want it to be. I want it to be a forever world. I don't want to be a hardcore world. I may have noticed I put it on hard mode anyway. That's just because, well, I feel like people would like cyberbully me if I didn't. And I don't really have a reason not to, because either way, I'm gonna play the same way, which is avoiding any and everything. And that's very fine by me. And we've got enough to make a bed. Awesome. Anyway, I'm not making it a hardcore world because I don't really want to lose my world if I happen to die on the first day. Now, you may be like, well, just don't be bad. Don't die on the first day. And I'd say, well, you're right. However, I'm pretty prone to dying sometimes. Of course, on the most recent servers, I haven't died. Of course, I was mostly worried about players killing me, but nobody actually did. So I was chilling out doing my own thing instead of engaging in politics, as I do. People would just kind of ignore whatever I'm doing a lot. And that's fine. Most of the time it would just be stuff for my own use, but sometimes it was pretty useful things. Like I made an ice boat highway in between the biggest bases at the time, which then became the not biggest bases of the time. And empires passed, but mine didn't remain relevant. It just survived. Because there's only one person running the thing. It can't die because it only needs one manpower to live. I, I, I love that about my bases. Of course, a lot of people didn't love how I wouldn't engage in the politics, but it's okay with me. I'm sure if I were them, I'd probably start bullying people. Oh, I think it's a village over there. Doesn't look like there's any new wood types around. Well, I guess we'll go to the village. So for this episode, we're just looking for new wood types and places to build a base. Now, new wood types are the main thing I'm worried about. Oh, and a shipwreck. A turret. You know the Mario man that likes stomping turrets? Isn't that such a weird thing for him to do? Can't believe he'd do that. Yeah, we've got the birch boat. Yeah, I wish I just didn't have to go through the process of explaining everything that I did before, which is unfortunate. I really didn't want to. But it's there's only so much I could do with 30-minute time spent to record. Looks like this boat's overturned. I'm breaking one of the pants. Take that. Pretty sure you can still plant poisonous potatoes, but just in case I won't. Got some paper too. Eat that with my sugar cane. Oh, buried treasure map, paper, and some clothes. It's not bad at all. And I'll just go to the village now. Okay, so here's my list for this episode. I'm gonna try and gather every wood and find a good place to start a base. Because I don't know, I feel like it's a good thing to do. So we found this village. And one thing I would like to do is write the coordinates down of every village I go to. That's why I can abuse them, but so that I can like build walls around them and like, give them names and stuff. And I think it's kind of cool. And we do have enough resources to make a book. I don't know about a book of quill though, which is unfortunate because that's what I was planning to write them down in the coordinates. I guess for that I just call it Village One. Looks like he didn't drop any leather. It's unfortunate. Yeah, my last world I wasn't so lucky. I didn't find a village until much later. Not even any. Well, no, I did find. I found the funny ruined portal. Do I just need? No, it looks like I need more. We will resort to the ocean for that. Pretty sure that's where it is. Just pretty good looking village here. Doesn't look like there's anything particularly awesome here, but it is a village, and it works for me. How to steal their things, and I'll come here eventually to repair it, as in steal this uncraftable block right here, so I can have collectibles. I just think that's pretty cool. You may notice I'm trying to sleep really bad. That's just because I don't I don't like the night. I don't like fighting mobs all the time. I can do it in caves. I don't like doing it in the overworld. Get out of my bed. I stole your bed. Oh, and I would often, when I would make my bases, I would often put them on hills. That was like my optimal base spot. And I would always do it on a hill. But recently, I've been attempted putting it on very specific kinds of hills. Like, there's these blue blue flowers that I'll put around it. You know, they're nothing special. The blue flowers aren't they aren't anything special. They're just like how they look around my bases. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna try not to take anything from these villagers, as in like stuff that they built, not stuff that they uh gathered for themselves. Ooh, that's an interesting new texture for the composter. Take this. Thank you. Because I like living, and this gives me more food to live. Of course, I was planning on getting some potatoes. So that would just be the food that I'd go with until I run out of bread. Want that. Want that. Gonna need a lot of books eventually, actually. Librarian Dr. Trayor's trait. My god, I can't even remember his name. Trasaurus? Dr. Trayorus? Oh, yeah, that's what his name was. Dr. Trayorus. Like, Dan TDM, I used to watch him when I was much younger. Like, back when I didn't even know what Curse Forge was. Or mods, apparently, because whenever he would, like, play a mod, I wouldn't even notice. I'll just think it's a part of the game. I was like, wow, they added that in the update? They did not add that in the update, by the way. They did not. They don't add that stuff in the update. Ah, I do want it. I do. Yeah, well, the sun's up pretty high. Oh, and there's a spider around here. I'm gonna beat him up so I can make my book and quill. I think he's trying to escape. That works. Now, if I'm not wrong, I do believe I can make right. Now, I don't feel like I want to make this place my main base, especially since I haven't even gathered all my wood types yet. And you know, I don't think I'll actually take the buried treasure map. I don't need it. I'll get my resources on me own. Alright, well, that's all I needed. I have them written down in my little book. Now it's time to keep going. I think that dark biome over there might be a spruce biome. Well, I heard that skeleton. I think he's down underneath though. So I don't need to care. Also, I liked one thing a lot about books in the older versions, as in the beta 1.7.3 that I'd play way back on my Chromebook. Oh yeah, I didn't tell that story yet. I would start Yeah, I'll start from the beginning actually. But on my my school Chromebook, my special school Chromebook, not my regular high school Chromebook, of course, I would always start one of these Minecraft worlds because I found out that you can just press download for Linux, specifically Debian based Linux, because that's what it is. You download it and you just you log in to. Of course, you can't just use that and essentially pirate the access to Minecraft. No, but in that way you do get to play it. And I would always play that during the downtime I'd have in the day. So like whenever there was nothing to do in class, I would hop on Minecraft. I always bring my mouse with me because you can't really play the older versions without a mouse. Kind of annoying, but it's whatever. I'm not like sad that I can't use my mouse for everything. I'm not like happy about that either, but I do like using the mouse sometimes. Just not required to use it. But of course, they weren't really thinking about laptop users in beta 1.7.3. So, yeah. You may be wondering why I chose that. And I say to that, it's because it's a cool. Right. I'm not trying to call anybody dumb for asking that, although it is not the smartest question. It's still Chromebook, right? It does not have a graphics card. It has integrated graphics in the CPU, which is pretty bad. I mean, it's tolerable, but it doesn't even run that beta version that well either. It barely runs it well. Like I'd say it runs at about 45, and that's perfectly playable. It's just above. I say when it gets below 30 frames, it becomes unplayable, as you might see from my gameplay, because I'm pushing my computer to load 10 1028 chunks with the Distant Horizons mod, of course, because I think it's cool to do that. Always close to these spruce files, I find the dark oak files, and I love those trees a lot. But anyway, so I actually started my first Forever World on one of those Chromebooks, or what was intended to be, but we actually ended up retiring our Chromebooks that same year in turn for the better ones that I now use. And I must say, it is definitely an improvement. However, like, you know, it's not always so easy to download it on every Chromebook. The first one I had just happened to be so dubiously easy to do it on, to download it, because it's like there wasn't any restriction at all, and it was so pleasant. But the second one, I had to go through a lot more effort just to get it running. It was very unfortunate, but I still got it running. Oh, and since we retired the Chromebooks, I did lose that first Forever World, which was unfortunate. But that's why I just plan on uploading this next one to a thumb drive and just uploading it to this PC because it shouldn't be terribly big. I mean, I don't know how big Minecraft worlds from the beta versions are, but I don't imagine they're big. I think they're pretty tiny actually. But hey, it's pretty good in that way. I do enjoy it a lot. I still play it quite often too. Uh, as I said, the most consistent thing I do is build my first base out of bricks. So I did that. I started it with walls, put torches in the walls, made a mine, and then made a couple outposts. As I was inspired to do that by a video I saw recently of this guy saying that or what he talking about what he learned about getting two or three middle-aged men addicted to Minecraft. Yeah, I found it pretty entertaining, and I got inspired by it. So I made a couple outposts. Of course, they're not much like what uh, they made in what I'm talking about, but it's still inspired. So I'd like to mention it. I can't remember who made it. I might put it in here, but it is just the idea I got. So it's not that big of a deal. I'll go for the tiny tree because the rest of the dark oak trees are really annoying to cut down with your fists. As well as another thing, I think it's been getting pretty popular lately. I know you all know about the Minecraft ARG thingy because it's a very good medium to start one through. Most people have played it. Most people know what you're talking about. Most people know what the original game looks like and what's wrong and like what's new and what's not. However, it has been quite used for ARGs to the point where it's kind of old. Now, people are discovering how to do new things, like I don't remember what the series is called, but I know that it made references to the King in Yellow, or at least it was somehow related to it, and I found that pretty interesting. And I thought it was pretty good. I didn't actually go through the series myself, of course. I actually watched a video by Wifeys, I think. I think that was his name. But it was a pretty interesting video. And I must say, I would recommend it. I would recommend watching it. It's a pretty good video. Oh, and another video I watched recently, heavily Minecraft involved, is Ish's Minecraft 1000 player hardcore civilization. That's not what the actual title is, but his name is actually Ish. I really enjoyed that video. I thought it was really good, right? And with that video, I really wanted to do something similar, but I don't have a platform big enough to try and do something on that scale yet, or ever, really. I don't think I ever will. But assuming that I may, two of the four saplings, oops, two of the four, close up this drops extra saplings, so I'm not trying to do a tree with no saplings, because you need four of these. Okay. Anyway, really enjoyed Ish's 1000 player hardcore civilization video. He did a lot of things. Well, he did one thing that I really wanted to do. It showed how a lot of people, when they put their minds to it, they can do practically anything. And he didn't even have the nether in it. The nether was completely out of it, wasn't even thought of. And it was very entertaining. It's very good. Very good video. It did get kind of repetitive at times. I will say that. However, it was a good watch. It inspired me. So I think that's what it was meant to do. And for that, I am grateful for seeing that video. All right, we got a bunch of extra saplings. So I'm pretty content with that. It's like it's about midday, traveling through the dark oak biome. Surely it will end soon, which is unfortunate. But hey, it's fine. It may end soon, but that means we get another start, and that's the spruce biome. I think this is like the mega spruce biome that has like a million gigantic spruce trees. Yeah, this is one of the real spruce biomes. Of course, I'm just trying to gather up every kind of log. First, I'd like to get ash wood, jungle wood. I could live without acacia wood, cherry wood, and I think that's it besides the woods that are in the nether. Oh, and we got a sapling. Sick. All right, well, that's another job done. Jungle, ash. But I don't think those biomes are particularly common, though, so I wouldn't expect to find them soon. And again, I'll be mining these, but I don't have any pickaxe right now, so I guess I won't. I've actually been hoping to see a desert, and I know there's no trees in a desert. I know, but that normally means an acacia biome is nearby, and I'd like to see that. Because even though I don't like using acacia trees that much, I do like I do like having the option. I like knowing that if I want it, it is there. I find that pretty cool about it. So I'm guessing that's just a ice biome. Trying to find something new. I think we're gonna do a lot of wandering, trying to a lot of off-camera wandering kind of deal. I think I'll have to do multiple videos for. Excuse me, I had to check how long my recording was going because I can only record in 30-minute intervals. So it's been almost 30 minutes, so I have to go check my intervals again. I think I'll go over there next. And I think I'm going to have to make a few videos where I find all the wood types and then finally start making a base.